Young Khan from conartist.org is offering the listeners of the RngCast 25% off commission work, including avatars, logo design, Twitch overlays, buttons, and even branding packages to unify their look. Just message him on Twitter at Young Khan, that's YUNG _ KHAN _ and say the RNG sent you over for a quote today. That's 25% off for listeners. Thanks for listening, guys, and enjoy the show. Ladies and gentlemen of the RNG Revolution, welcome to the 49th episode of the RNG Cast. I, as always, am Buster Knuckle. Joining us today are...
This is your boy Raven.
What's going on, guys? It's your favorite Canadian, Brother Elijah.
And joining us...
my name is Mercules, too, so...
Uh-oh.
We have two weapon guys this week, and, I mean, it's going to be fun. Merc, thank you for coming back. I remember you said the last time you were on you had to cut it short for in real life stuff, so I'm happy to have you back. Thanks for coming back.
Thank you for having me, and hopefully I've cleared my schedule, at least for the next couple hours, so I should be here for the duration. I'm excited about it.
Yeah, man, life sometimes catches up to you. That's how we look at it.
Seriously.
How's everybody's weekend? How's everybody's week been? It feels like a little bit since I've talked to you guys, and, you know...
It's been a minute. It's good. Wrath of the Machine featured raid. Not fun. Don't like it. Glad that I don't have to do it again.
No, never.
No.
It's my least favorite raid.
Yep.
So that's fine. I like Wrath of the Machine. I'm trying to get a bunch of my old raid group to come back in it just for this week, so we can run through it for old time's sake. I think Monday is going to be the night that we actually pull together that like old clan. Most of them aren't going to come back until Destiny 2. So I'm excited for that. I'm looking forward to it. But honestly, I've been spending most of the weekend PvP and enjoying it. Like when Age of Triumph came out, I was all PvE trying to get that stuff done. I'm finally done with all of it, and now it's just PvP. I'm back to my bread and butter, and I've been having a good time.
Nice.
Cool. I mean, for Destiny news, we don't have much to talk about. We're less than a month away from the gameplay reveal for Destiny 2, which, I mean, hype for. Let's just see what they have coming. So, more news to come, I guess, is the best way to put that one, right?
Yeah.
Everyone's holding their breath.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Oh, yeah. Be like the Bungie weekly update and say stay tuned for next week, so we can tell you to stay tuned for the week after that.
Yeah.
Until May 18th, right?
Yeah.
The Trials map this week, because it's Earth Day, is the rotating Earth maps.
Yeah.
I kind of like how when they do that, because it doesn't let a team get into a rhythm. You know what I mean? So they can't be like, okay, well, we're going to hold this point every time we go. I mean, not like everybody does that for Trials, but that is a strategy.
I think rotating maps is kind of a placebo for people. I don't really think if you've got a good three-man team, you're going to be a good three-man team on any map. Like, your spawn changes every time you load in. So, you know, if you, like, Last Exit is a really good example, because if you spawn inside, your strategy is a lot different than if you spawn outside. So it doesn't really matter if you constantly play that map all weekend. And the rotating maps, I think, isn't going to really change anything either. It's just you load in with your, you know, you've got your loadout for the appropriate maps because it changes. And then, I mean, you just go from there. But I think it's a placebo in that people who aren't with super well-versed three-man teams are like, okay, you know what, that was a bad round on that map. We're going to go back in. It's a new map. It's going to be new, fresh, we'll be fine kind of deal. But I don't I don't think it'll really have a lot of impact for your hardcore Trials players, in my opinion.
Okay.
No, probably not. I mean, a good team is going to be a good team, like you said, on any map. I like the idea of rotating Trials just because it's something that injects some life back into Trials, which right now is not exactly the most popular of all the activities. Saw a little bit of a bump in population when Age of Triumph came out as people tried to go through and complete the stuff for the record book. But honestly, with the special weapon meta the way it is, competitive Destiny is not in a great place, in my opinion. I mean, trying to play doubles this week for the weekly was like an exercise in futility. It was like slamming my head against a wall. I was like, oh, another team that camps with Icebreaker. Who could possibly have guessed that that was what they were going to be doing? And, I mean, Trials is experiencing some of the same stuff. It's unfortunate. You know, I appreciate what they tried to do with the special weapon economy. They tried to make a change, but anybody could have foreseen that this was going to be the consequence of it. And sure enough, you know, it went from being all shotguns to being all Icebreaker or all Wormwood. So I haven't been enjoying it, but I'm glad they're rotating maps because it's better than being stuck on the same map over and over and over and over and over and over and over again. At least you get to try something new.
Yep.
Does she have the same feeling?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, I'm pretty much in agreement with that.
Yeah.
It's cool. It's nice to have a refreshing change of scenery if you're in a slump or whatnot, but otherwise, yeah. I mean, if you're a solid team, you're a solid team.
All right, let's just move on to the memory lane topic for this week. Let's go ahead, Merc. What's your number? 1 to 100.
57.
57. Okay, Eli.
11.
Des.
72.
Good spread.
I'll go 21. 94. So Des. You would think after 49 weeks this would be easy, right?
Just gets harder.
It does.
I know, right? Because then you run into the issue of, have we done this before in a specific way? I've got to say, though, like I said, we probably might have done this before, at least to a certain spin. But you know, it's 49 episodes, so listeners, forgive me. But what got you into gaming?
I don't
Just
think we,
in general? Like
Yeah,
up video games?
what made you pick up a controller and shoot the mans, basically?
Well, for me, I got given a video game when I was a young child called Dawn of Aces, which was like a flight simulator, a World War I flight simulator, when I was like a little tiny kid. And these are like borderline pixel graphics. It was ridiculous. I'd never played a video game before in my entire life, other than like Ski Free on Windows computers. Never played one before. My parents bought it for me because they thought it was like a historical thing, not realizing that it was just a video game. So I played that, loved it, but I stayed in flight simulators. That was the only type of game I played, was flight simulators, until I found Halo PC's demo online. When I was a kid, I didn't have any money to buy video games, so I downloaded free demos. And I just played demos all the time. And the Halo PC demo with the Silent Cartographer as the mission that you could play, I played that mission so many times I had the entire thing memorized, like where every enemy was, and it was amazing. It completely changed the way I looked at video games, convinced me to buy an Xbox, got me into Halo, got me into console first-person shooters, and, you know, basically made me a Bungie fan for life. So that's what got me into it.
And you can actually fly, though, right? Like, you're actually a pilot. That explains it. That's where you got your love of flight, of flying.
Well, yeah, so. and my dad was a pilot, too, so it's in my bloodline.
Okay. I didn't know, that your dad was a pilot. I know you were a pilot. I didn't know that, that makes sense.
Yep.
It's cool, though. I mean, I can go, I guess, Eli, if you do.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I was given, I remember, the Atari. I had one of those. I had an Atari in my well, my dad had it in his garage, so him and his buddies would play Pitfall and back in the day the Pong game. But the first time I played a video game was Legends of Zelda on the Nintendo. I got it for Christmas, and I got the gold cartridge edition with the leather bound map and all that, and I freaked out. And I still remember plugging it in and hooking it up, screwing the wires in and all that, and my dad helping me. And I mean, as soon as you just start that up and you hear that iconic theme that's so terrible if you think about it compared to the themes nowadays. It's just, ditties and stuff. But yeah, Legends of Zelda is what started me onto the whole path of gaming, and I mean, I guess it pretty much shaped the games I like. I didn't do first person shooters until Black Ops 2, and I did RPGs and stuff, and I mean, nothing is a baseline RPG for the time than Zelda and then Final Fantasies.
It was Christmas. Christmas Day. My brother and I both got a present. It was a large box. He's older than I am. We tear it open, and I don't think I knew what it was, to be honest. I was like, giant box. It's not a Tonka truck. Like, fuck. But he was super stoked on it. And so we would play just kind of whatever. And then the one game that really stands out in my mind, my memory's awful, but it's Mega Man X. And like to this day, like my memory is absolute crap, but to this day, like if I were to see that boss selection screen, I could probably go, okay, him first, then him, and then you go on to him, and then you go to him. This is where all the hidden armor pieces are. And from there, I love video games, and I was never like too hardcore. I mean, my parents were big, like, hey, like go outside and play, like get out of here. But they were also like, okay, come back in. You can play video games. It's cool. And so, SNES and then Nintendo 64, and it just kind of went forward from there. A lot of Nintendo. Yeah.
Nice. For me, I've got to say, I mean, because I started playing video games at an early age, but I was never like super interested in them because I was like 6 or 7, had a Nintendo, got into like Mario, Duck Hunt and them, and it pretty much, especially around like my age group, like the stereotypical things you start with. But I didn't really get super interested in video games, like just as a thing, until Final Fantasy 3 at the time. Which would be 6 now, but the imports back then and crap in Japan but no, that game I never actually owned it for my system, but I rented that game for like a month solid just so I could beat it. I mean, just so I can make sure nobody would save over my file, that way I can actually keep on going. But yeah, that's like the first game I really had like an attachment to and like just super hardcore like got into. And that's what led me to PlayStation, because PlayStation became the Final Fantasy machine. And it's like, I mean, I had gotten into a few for consoles, yeah, for sure. But me and my brother were into like anything Star Wars related. We got like super hardcore into X-Wing versus TIE Fighter. It's all kinds of just weird flight sims, just because my brother loved like big complicated joysticks, and of course flight sims were the only thing you could really play to take advantage, or shooters. But yeah.
Until Steel Battalion came out, and then that was the most complicated controller setup I've ever fucking seen in my entire life. Fun fact, the only mech game I liked was that. The only thing involving mechs I liked was Steel Battalion. The revolutionary ideas has been crazy. This is probably one of the biggest turnouts we've had for this, because I put on our Discord, hey, Mercules is coming on. what are you guys' questions? And I should have known what was going to come.
Yeah.
So, first, let's go with Indie Sales Guy asked. He addressed it to me, but it's for everybody. I'd love to hear your strat and maybe perk selection for Telesto kills. I'm forever leaving them absolute, but rarely getting kills. Hard to justify putting my Sally V down, given my experience thus far with Telesto. So, Telesto strategy.
Well, I mean, so if you're trying to compare Sally V to Telesto, it's not probably going to go well. The Sally V is a better overall fusion rifle than Telesto is. Telesto is much more of a gimmick. So if you're actually trying to want to play really well and win, maybe that's not what you should be doing. When I use Telesto, it's in 6v6 game modes like Rift or Control. And I use it, and I said this earlier, I use it basically like a grenade launcher. If I know someone's behind cover, I pepper the ground around the cover, or I pepper the wall behind the cover or something like that. If I know someone's about to run around the corner, I pepper the ground. You let people run over it and take down their health. At close range, obviously use it just like you would any fusion rifle. You start low at the knees, basically. Let the recoil drag itself upward so you start to hit the body. You only need 5 bolts to kill. And, I mean, I'm trying to think. It's not like the Saladin's Vigil where you're going to be sniping people from crazy long distances and taking them out. If you're trying to use it like that, you're going to be experiencing a lot of frustration. Don't. Use it the closer ranges and use it. Remember that the bolts explode and use them accordingly. Put them places where you think they're going to damage people. You don't have to just hit the person only. Hit the area around them. And that's the strategy I use for it. I did an entire review on it where like half the video is me just shooting at the ground and killing people who are hiding behind walls and stuff. So that's my strategy.
I use it. No, go ahead. Go ahead, Eli.
No, it's just it's the same thing. Telesto, I mean, you can't compare it to other fusion rifles, I don't think. I mean, it's a different play style because, like Merc said, you use its special perk to your advantage, thus making it unlike the other guns. You spray corners or spray the ground, or you coat the inside of your bubble and back out when somebody comes in. Like there's different options with its special perk, but you don't get into a gunfight expecting just to, again, like Mercules said, don't expect to get in a gunfight and expect to cross map somebody with it because it's a gimmick gun.
Yeah. I mean, as much it's not a bad thing when you say gimmick gun. It's not a bad thing. There are tons of gimmick guns in the game. Queensbreaker's bow is a gimmick gun that people have been able to absolutely dominate with. It means that it's unique and it takes practice, and you have to throw yourself into using it in a way that benefits you. Yeah,
I didn't mean it in a negative connotation at all.
Plan C is a gimmick gun as well. Its gimmick is okay, we're done.
It's a shotgun.
Yeah,
which has screwed me over so many times.
For me, I use it mainly for control because it's the perfect area. It denies an area is what it's best used for. Like Merc said, or like when Merc said, up close, it's just like any other fusion rifle. You're going to get a lot of trades with it if you're aggressive. It's just how it is. You might get a couple shots and then pop them, and then they get you, but the explosion gets them. It's just how it works. But I use it for like controlling B, controlling a hallway, keeping snipers from taking a point. Because if a sniper has to move, they're not aiming down sights. And that's just how to use it. The perks pretty much don't really matter, your perk selection. I mean, there's obviously the old reliables, but just get out there and play with it is the info I can give. The advice, just get out. You have to play with it. You have to just like any other gun in the game.
And then, as far as perk selection does go, I use smooth ballistics and then enhanced battery just to have more in the clip and a little bit more range because the recoil change isn't that much.
Smooth ballistics gives a boost to aim assist, which is pretty nice. And then, if you don't care so much about that, smart drift control makes the recoil pretty much like 100% straight up and down, which makes it a little bit easier for that shot grouping. I use lightweight just because it ties in with Battle Runner. And normally when I'm using the gun, I use it on my Night Stalker, so I'm shade stepping all over the place anyways. So it's kind of like a shade step out, fire, shade step away. Because it's a trade machine if you try to engage directly with it. I'm all about the pop in, fire, run away. Don't even look to see if you stuck them with all the things. Just disengage, because you don't want to be trading over and over and over and over and over again. So I'm in and out with the Telesto all the time, and lightweight helps with that. Battle Runner helps with that, but I think it's a really fun gun. Obviously, I haven't been using fusions much since the special ammo nerf. Unfortunately, I've been more of a sniper guy because I feel like snipers, they're, with fusions, if you lose an engagement, there's like a pretty high chance you die. With shotguns, if you lose an engagement, you definitely die, which is why I haven't used shotguns at all since the special ammo thing. But with snipers, if you lose an engagement, you can kind of just run away. Like you miss that first shot, you just drop back. So I've been using snipers mostly, unfortunately. I did use the Ether Nova a little bit last week, that weird fusion from the Wrath of the Machine raid, right. So I could just get some gameplay of it. Yeah, didn't expect it to go well. It actually was okay, though. It wasn't too bad. So, with the ammo coming up every minute, I actually had a decent amount of it, and I wasn't upset. So it might convince me to break back into the fusion rifles, though.
Nice.
Yeah, smooth ballistics and enhanced battery as well. That's what I use. Lightweight has its times when you can when you need to be super mobile and maybe like a strike or something. But yeah, the extra 2 rounds I think is what it gives. What enhanced gives, something like that.
Yeah.
Okay, there's another question from Subcult. Since this Saturday is Earth Day, by the way, today's Earth Day, and it looks like we're going to still be on Earth in Destiny 2. What area on Earth do you hope we get to discover in the sequel?
Old Chicago, man. They showed screenshots and stuff. Not screenshots. They showed concept art of that way back before the game even released. So Old Chicago is something I've wanted to go see for 3 years, and we haven't heard almost anything about it at all. But I really want like a more of a city feel to one of the places we go on Earth, like more of an urban thing. Kind of like how they did the European Dead Zone maps in the Crucible. But I want it more American and less like old stone and stuff like that, like on, Widow's Peak or whatever. They've got all these like stone buildings, like churches and stuff, and that's a cool dynamic. It's not bad, but I want it to be like destroyed skyscrapers and things that we're playing in. I want that badly, so fingers crossed we get that.
Yeah, I'm much of the same opinion. I look at the spaces we have now, and you see like a lot of wide open kind of landscapes and stuff like that. I wanna play this game, and I want to get claustrophobic a couple times running missions or something like that. Like I want to be, in a city street or downtown Chicago or where. Like I want to see a cityscape, and I want to be in there. That's exactly what I wanted.
Des, what do you want to say? Anything in particular, or just?
I would definitely like to see more of the European Dead Zone, because that's, if I recall correctly. Of course, it's been a while since I've thought about lore, but if I recall correctly, we do have reports of Fallen having attacked Europe, like just before the collapse. So, there's no telling what all may or may not actually be centered in the European Dead Zone. Not only just the looks and the rubble and such, but it might actually be a better... I don't know, it might actually be where... Oh, God. What's that one Fallen house called? Kings? House of Kings? House Kings?
Yeah, the yellow one.
The yellow?
Yeah. Yeah, it might actually be where they're based.
Because the wolves are red, right?
No, wolves are blue.
Blue.
Devils are red.
Devils are red.
So many different houses.
Don't forget about the Broken House of the Moon. That's kind of green.
The Exiles, yeah. But then the true colors, what color is House Winter?
Wasn't that a darker blue? Because wasn't Wolves like a kind of a tealish, while House Winter was more of a solid blue?
I always thought House Winter was kind of like yellow-ish, or like silver maybe, or something. Silver?
Could be.
I don't know. I feel like I need to go play that mission now to kill the Kel, just to like see what color they are. Because I don't remember, because we broke them so early that I don't really remember them that much.
That and Barracks does have the House Winter shader, I believe. Because he has one for Wolves, Devils. I think King's
He has,
Winter and Judgment.
he has the ships too, right? And he has the
Yeah,
marks.
yeah, yeah. The ships too. Maybe not shaders, but at least class items.
I really want.
Yeah.
I really want cityscapes. I want a like apartment clearing type of thing. Like you have to go and siege a building, clear rooms, all that. Like I want a hallway scene like a Marvel fucking show. That's what I want. I want to fight in a fucking hallway. That's what. No need for gun. The gun's gonna be there, but if I need to, I want to just reach out and pop somebody with my little T-Rex arms. That's what I want.
Can you imagine a Titan clearing a room there? They shoulder charge through the door and then flashbang the room.
Oh.
It would work perfectly.
Throw the flashbang in, shoulder charge in, smash. So
Yeah.
good, yeah. Or whatever super there could be. I don't know. Burning Wing Zero asks, do you think Destiny 2 will have a alpha? And if so, do you think do you think they would open it up? Also, what are your guesses on when the beta will be released? He thinks late July, because that'll be the perfect time to stop people from experiencing the drought.
I don't think there's going to be an alpha. I think we would have heard about it by now if there was going to be one. If there is one, I really, really hope it's not like PlayStation exclusive like it was last time. Because obviously I'm on Xbox, so I'd be shafted by that. Like I was shafted by every PlayStation exclusive. But I think he's probably right about that. I mean, when was the beta? Wasn't the beta for Destiny 1 like the first week of August or the last week of July or something last time? So about like a month and a half before the game came out. I think that's probably a reasonable timeline. I'd like it to be longer. I'd like him to do it in June and do it for like 2 months worth of open beta is what I'd like, obviously. I don't think they will. I think it's probably going to be a week and a half, maybe at most. Mm-hmm. But, we do get it early for pre-ordering, and then it's opened up to everyone. So that's got to mean that there's at least some amount of time. Maybe it'll be 2 weeks this time, something like that. But I think his time frame sounds reasonable.
Sorry.
No, go ahead, bro.
A popular opinion, again, like Mercules said once again, if there was an alpha, there would have been word about it. We would have heard something. I don't think it's going to happen. And then the time frame for the beta, again, with pre-order getting the early access, maybe it's 3 weeks and you get one and everybody gets two, or maybe it's 2 weeks, you get one and then you get two and then everybody else gets the last week. Somewhere in that vein does sound about right, and that timeline does make sense. Be smart. We'll see.
Because then it gives them time to fix any issues that we find.
Well, at this point in time, I'd be pretty surprised. Betas of this are just like marketing strategies. I think the last time I remember a beta being significantly different was Halo Reach. The Halo Reach beta was like legitimately way different than Halo Reach that actually released. But every beta I've played since then has basically just been like a demo of the game, like a finalized version, and then they give you like 5 missions from it.
Yeah.
That's what you think about the beta?
I don't expect them. I mean, like I've said before, like a lot of this is like callbacks to original Destiny, and it's looking like 2 or 3 weeks was for the original beta. From July 17th, it started for PlayStation platforms, and then on July 22nd, it opened up for Xbox and ended on the 27th. So I think that's, 2 weeks around in there? Or might have been 3. Crap, I can't remember. Oh, good lord, that was 3 years ago. But I don't foresee them doing anything differently, really. Until official word gets out, I'm expecting mid to early July to get it open at beta. As far as an alpha, I don't see any company really opening up an alpha just because of practices, and alphas were more, the actual definition was more in-house testing, and then betas were opened up to third-party beta testers, which, like Merc said, has also been a marketing campaign to get people into your game. Mm-hmm. So beta access has always been a thing, especially recently. But yeah.
Personally, I hope it's not early July. I'd like it to be the end of July because Game of Thrones is coming back in the middle of July, and I don't want Destiny to interrupt my Game of Thrones time. 3 weeks would be nice. A week and a half for the pre-order guys, and then a week and then we can finish it off. The last week and a half open to everybody. That'll give people time enough to be like, okay, yeah, this is what I want, or this isn't what I want. A lot of people probably pre-ordered, so we're gonna be in. No alpha. It doesn't seem like they would run an alpha without telling us. They
well, like I said, those are mainly closed, so
yeah.
They probably have already ran it, but
that's probably what we'll be seeing. Honestly, on the 18th, them maybe playing the alpha. I doubt they have I'd hope they have a near finished product this close to release, considering it's only a couple months away. Co-founder Merc, this is more towards you, so I'm just gonna read it as written. After the recent pulse rifle nerf, he, meaning you, Merc, was pretty harsh on the lowest impact archetype due to the same perfect time to kill as the Hawk Saw type. Does he still stand by this, or has he found either to be a viable option in its own right? So
I still stand by it. I don't think they're that great. I know some people have been like, well, their 4-burst time to kill is faster than a lot of the other guns out there. So if you hit a combination of crits and body shots, you can actually get a pretty forgiving 4-burst that's in like 1.2. But, honestly, the issue I have with it is the best guns from that archetype, which was Grasp of Malik and Clever Dragon, both got a magazine nerf as well, which I didn't like. And what really hit them hard is the flinch. One of the reasons those guns used to be so unbeatable, their time to kill was fast, it was good, but it was because they flinched opponents so much. And they just don't do as much now. So, yeah, I will stand by my recommendation that if you're using the very low impact class, you should just switch and use the low impact class. The Hawksaw is more forgiving, and overall it's got more positives to it than I think anything. Oversoul, Edict, Praetor's Timepiece. I know we got a couple new ones in there. Granted, please don't use Praetor's Timepiece in PvP. Secret Round is an awful perk for PvP. But yeah, I'm going to stand by that recommendation. I don't think they're maybe as bad as I first said they were. I was crowing from rooftops that they were horrible, never to be used, don't touch them in the Crucible. And they're maybe not that bad because, you're not actually ever going to be hitting that 13 body shot time to kill of 1.47. You're way more likely to get a kill in 4 bursts as opposed to having to wait for a 5th one. But yeah, I still think they're not that great, honestly. So
okay. Subcult again. With Destiny 2, Guardian Con, and all the McFarlane toys coming out, how much are you prepared to dish out in the name of Destiny this year?
Ooh, whatever it costs to buy me the game and those first 2 expansion packs is what I'm going to pay. I did the same thing with Destiny 1, and I've gotten my money's worth, and I'd assume with Destiny 2 it's going to be the same way. I've never been the dude who buys the Legendary Edition or anything like that. I don't, collect stuff, toys, but I am going to Guardian Con. Me and Kit Kutcher are going to be there from the Massive Breakdown podcast. I'm going to be handing out hard copies of my spreadsheet, little printed out versions to give to people. So
in little binders, like in school, like a report.
Yeah,
cool.
Yeah. So that's $40 right there, and I assume that it's going to be $100 for the game and its 2 expansions. So $150, something like that. Yeah, I see. So you do have all the stuff then.
I have some things.
Yeah, a few. I spent $200 on Destiny probably all told, and it's been like 3 years worth of gameplay.
Easy.
And I haven't even had to buy other games because I play Destiny so much that it actually saved me money. Because normally, prior to Destiny, I bought the new Call of Duty every single year. I haven't bought a Call of Duty since Destiny. I had Titanfall. I haven't bought Titanfall 2 because I just play Destiny all the time. Like I used to play StarCraft. I used to play War Thunder. And basically, I only play Destiny now. So it's actually saved me a lot of money, I feel like.
Yeah, I haven't pre-ordered it yet. I'm the same. Again, I'm following suit with Mercules a lot here. I'll buy the game. I'll probably buy the first 2 expansions after I see some gameplay footage here. I don't I don't care too much for the Cade 6 figure or, the Moments of Triumph shirt, or, wow, that'd be kind of neat to have. But I'm not into the whole thing. Like, I'm not going to go buy that 5-foot replica Gallahorn or go buy one of those, custom-made raise lighters or anything like that. I think I saw like $110 for the pre-order for the first 2 expansions and the game itself. Seems reasonable to me. Mm-hmm. Games are always a solid investment. When I was younger and strapped for cash and living out, it was always like, it's really hard to justify spending $70 for this game. But then it's like, I spend $70 on this game, I'm going to get like a ton of time out of it. I'm not going to be bored. I'm not going to be out spending my money on other things. Like, I'm just going to sit in my room by myself and play video games. But yeah,
video
the
games
game
can help prevent
expansions,
boredom eating.
I'm done.
Helps prevent boredom eating.
Yeah,
for sure.
Keeps you occupied.
I have 2 pre-orders because I am a collector and I'm a mark. So I did pre-order the, I don't know if it's not the legendary, the one with all the expansions, because it just seemed logical. I'm going to play the game. I might as well just get the expansions ahead of time, as opposed to what I did this year and just get the game and then bought the expansions separately. It's not that big a deal. I played so much Destiny that, if you break it down, I probably paid like less than a cent a day to play the game for the 3 years for the 3 years it's been out. If you think about it, I will be getting. I've been in talks with with a cosplay artist who is going to make me the Helmet Saint 14. So I'll have it back there somewhere.
I might spend money on that, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I know the guy in real life, so it's pretty cool. He was like, hey, I'm going to make ghosts and stuff, let people know when I do. And I'm like, can you make a Helmet Saint 14? He said, oh, yeah. I said, cool. I don't care. Let me know how much it costs. I'll get it. Because, putting the studio together, trying to have cool stuff, Destiny stuff behind me. So, But yeah, I'm a mark for that stuff. I buy boxes. Not this time. I haven't bought any boxes this time, considering you're giving me 3 to 4 every week. So I might as well just take the free ones and save $10 every week. But 110, up to 200, really, I'm okay with. It's a sound investment because I don't play any other game but Destiny. You can. Yeah, I'm like the last Call of Duty I bought was Black Ops 2, and then I haven't bought any game since, any Call of Duty. So, yeah, that's pretty much it. I'd like to go to Guardian Con, but having my job being union, I can't take vacation whenever I want. I have to go a whole year in advance. I have to put my vacation in the first week of January and hopefully pray for the best.
Oh wow!
Yeah, and being in a union sucks. It's great, but it sucks because it's all seniority based, and the middle, the summer months are gone. By the time it gets down to May, I'm like, what dates are open? They're like, oh, okay, cool. So either March or December. All right, fine, whatever.
Yeah.
So I'll never get Guardian Con. I'd love to go. I'd love to get the guys, Des and Biz and Eli and Con, co-founder.
It's a bit of a trip.
Yeah, it's a bit of a trip for you. It'd be dope to have everybody together, but
yeah, for me, I'm just driving down after work because I'm from Florida, so I'm like, it's not too far away.
Yeah, going from Ontario to Florida, getting a room, getting Guardian Con tickets, getting back to Canada.
Well, who says you got to go back to Canada, man? Florida's not so bad.
Everybody.
Stay down.
And actually, the majority population of Florida is probably retired Canadians, so...
Bunch of New Yorkers at the very least. We got a ton of Northerners, man. Uh-huh. The snowbirds, they flock down here during the winter.
It's exactly what they are.
Converse asked, what's his opinion on the PDX-45's aim assist? Winky face. So I don't know if he's being Converse about this, but...
No, it's good. It's good. The PDX 45. There's a reason I suggest it over the over the Hawksaw. I mean, you're sitting at 70, I think 70 aim assist. That's a lot. It makes it really easy to hit those headshots. So I think PDX-45 is probably the gun in that archetype that I recommend more than any other gun. I think that one first. Blind Perdition is also pretty good, but everybody had the Hawksaw because the vendor roll was like a god roll right off the bat. You just bought it and went and played. I think the PDX-45 is a better gun than the Hawksaw. The problem was it's just way more difficult to get a great roll on it,
or to get a roll.
Yeah, to get any roll. I think the gunsmith sold the PDX-45 for the first time in like some unbelievable number of weeks.
It was since last June or July. Yeah.
So yeah, there you go. Good luck getting one, but.
Yeah. So now we'll get a God Roll PDX-45 drop a week before the beta drops.
Yeah, or during the beta, so nobody even picks it up.
And they shut it down.
Yeah, that's the guy who picks the gunsmith rolls is having a good chuckle about that.
Dick.
Little they know. So, yeah, he's selling it this week, right? The PDX.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You got one more day to pick it up, I think, and then he's not selling it anymore. So
Yeah, he probably won't sell it anymore.
Your only other option for that is it's nice that with the new Nightfall, the new quote unquote Nightfall buff that they brought back, you can clear your gunsmith rat every week, 4 guns, and then you can get, I guess if you do the math, you'd be able to get 2 packages every 2 weeks or something like that if you use the 2 crucible weapons. That's the other way to grind out for a PDX-45. I get Arminius D's out the A, but that's your other option, aside from sitting on a package.
I get the Zeranea, so at least you get a decent one.
I got killed by Zeranea the other day in the Crucible, and I was like, "What? Someone's using a Zeranea?" I couldn't believe it. He killed me at like a kind of long distance too, and I was more like awestruck than anything. I was like, "Wow, respect to that guy," because I like the Zeranea. I think the Zeranea is a good gun, but you just don't see people using auto rifles like you did in year one. And year one, that ting 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 used to be the only sound you would ever hear in a game. And you know, it's rare that I hear that now, so it was a welcome surprise.
I'm using the Continental. That's my
my
auto choice.
Widow's Court that ended up being like the entire other team, bunch of solo queuers on the other side, and everyone was using an auto rifle, and I'm just like,
What?
What is this? I'm getting killed by Suros. And I was actually with Converse. It's like, he's using focus fire on that Suros too, isn't he? He's like, Han's like, yeah. It's like, what?
That's good though.
I got killed the other day by a Fabian, and I was like, oh man.
I bring my Fabian out every now and again still. Yeah. It's a fun gun.
You can't be mad at that. There's a few guns that you get killed with in the Crucible, you're just like, you deserve that. You earned that kill, obviously.
You get killed by an Abyss Defiant, you're like...
Yeah, but why?
Yeah. That is an Abyss Defiant. All right, cool, dude, whatever. It's adept, I get it, whatever.
How was
you see that hail of purple bullets.
Yeah.
Like, oh, there's Atheons.
Yeah. I was playing yesterday, and one of my friends was like, oh my god, I just got killed by a Vision of Confluence. And I was like, what? And then like 2 minutes later, he's like, oh my god, he killed me again. I was like, god dang it.
Don't peek your head out. Keep your head down.
Sound strategy.
Yeah. That's the way you get past the vision. Keep your head down, because that thing, it's not good up close, but up from far away, it's there. It's a valuable scout rifle.
To peg people before they get close to you.
Mm-hmm. That was it for the revolutionary ideas. So we're going to move on to the RNG topic for the week. Merc, what's your number?
Ooh, is it out of 100 again?
Yeah.
Let's see. What's a good number? 96.
Oh, he doesn't have a topic. That's what that means. Eli, what's yours?
Shit. Let's go 11 again. I like it.
All right. Des?
Gonna go right down the center with 50.
I'm going to go 31. And it's 21. Wow, I would have been dead ass on. So closest without going over is Eli. It can be about anything, so this was a lot easier.
Okay. Well, you guys talk a lot about Destiny's your jam. You play a lot of Destiny. Don't spend a lot of money on other games and stuff like that. Something that I saw recently and something that really excited me was Shovel Knight is getting another expansion, which again is free if you already own the game. And I own a few of these kind of retro 8-bit kind of adventure games, and I think they're a ton of fun because, as I said earlier, like Mega Man X was kind of the precursor for me, if I can remember correctly. I guess my question is how do you guys feel about these 8-bit retro style adventure games that are there's a lot of them in the indie market for sure, but there's definitely some good ones out there. And what are your thoughts on that? Do you like them?
I've never honestly played any game like that. I've never played one of the retro 8-bit things at all. I've watched what was that one? I watched gameplay from some of them, and I always think they're cool, and I think they're really aesthetically pleasing, but I myself have never played them ever.
Not your cup of tea.
Well, it's not, I mean, that's not my cup of tea. It's just, like I said, I've got all my time is invested in Destiny, and on top of that, like, when I'm not playing Destiny, I'm writing about Destiny, or I'm researching Destiny, or I'm doing something. So I have very little time to devote to another game, and I enjoy watching other people play them. But I myself have never thought, I should get that game and play it. So I don't really have an opinion outside of it. But the more games that are in the industry that are quality, the better, as far as I think. As far as I go. Variety is, the spice of life.
Fair enough.
I don't play them either. So
damn, dude.
Yeah. I mean, I dig the fact that they are out there, that they're that people play them. I've seen people play them. It's to quote Billy Zane from Tales from the Crypt Demon Knight, if it feels good, do it.
I, for one, adore Shovel Knight. Nice. I mean, the classic platform gameplay, the music style is just amazing. That game and Rogue Legacy, I actually, once I saw what Rogue Legacy was about and watched a short clip video, it was on, I think it was one of the first games that PS3, it's kind of like an indie spotlight type deal that Sony had just started, and there was a special that you could pre-order it for a discounted price during a time. So, like I said, I watched a video, heard the music to it, saw the gameplay. It's like, I'll get this. Those two, it's like I said, it's really great, classic chiptune music. And yes, Shovel Knight is if I remember correctly, I think they're going to be adding every character, basically every villain will be playable.
So they released Plague of Shadows, which gave you Plague Knight's campaign, which was a total rework of the game, and now they're giving you Spectre Knight, which is again another ground up reworking of the game, and again free if you already own it.
Which they're not only just using the game, but they're actually reworking the levels because these characters each have. Because I watched some gameplay on the Plague Knight one, and he just plays so drastically different than the base game, and it's just it's really amazing the work they're putting in. I mean, I definitely have mad respect for Yacht Club Games, not only because of their work ethic, but they named their studio Yacht Club Games. That's a seal of approval right there. But yeah, it's, and like I said, it's great classic platforming too. So that just what can be downright difficult challenges. I mean, that's another thing I like about Shovel Knight too. I mean, it's not a hard game, but if you actually want to complete it and get all the little in-game achievements, that can be rough. Because you're talking about one achievement where you have to play through the game while destroying your checkpoints.
Yeah, you have to complete the level without you get to your checkpoint, you destroy it, so every time you die, you're just right back to the beginning.
Ugh.
Yeah.
I haven't braved that one yet.
I mean, I just really like them because I feel like they have a good spot. Shovel Knight and Plague Knight both. I mean, 6 hours, done the game. Probably like 80% completion on like collectibles and stuff like that without really trying for them or anything. It's just I always really like them because it's like this morning. I don't really have enough time to play Destiny I woke up late, so that's my own doing. But I feel like they have a really good place. Like, I'm going to fire up this game. I'm going to spend 15 minutes. I'm going to beat a level, and then I'm going to go about doing whatever else I'm going to do. And again, it's just the nostalgia. And again, they definitely market to people with that. Like, I feel like in our general age range, it's like, hey, like, let's rope these people back in from what they used to play when they were kids. Mm-hmm. And they do it right.
Yeah, it's a great market also for independent developers because you're not going to see a lot of like AAA people taking steps back like that. But seeing like these basically passion projects and people that just really want to make a game, and it's like, well, we'll do it this way. I mean, they're definitely not going to win awards for like graphics or anything, but by God, like I said, they've got a lot of heart in them.
During the conversation, during what you said, that came to another question. Do you guys chase achievements?
Kinda. I mean, I did in Halo a little bit. I wanted to get all the story mission achievements where you have to get a certain score, and the only way you could do it is to turn on a certain amount of skulls and then beat a mission like under a time limit. So I tried to do that, but like Destiny, I get achievements playing through the game, but I've never looked at them and like, oh, I need to get that achievement. You know, mm-hmm. I chased the record book stuff, I'll say that. But achievements kind of fell by the wayside for me.
I try. I mean, I do and I don't. If you were to inspect me on PlayStation Network, I have 1 platinum, and it's Destiny. I don't look at lists. Like, I don't go to the trophy sites and pull up the list and be like, okay, I'm on this level, so I have to do, this thing to get this trophy. Mm-hmm. I do watch some people. Brown Man is a streamer, and he's like a big achievement score guy. He's like 700, 800,000 or something like that. And it's kind of cool to watch people do things like that. But personally, there's some really messed up trophies out there that I'm never going to get because I don't want to do it.
Mm-hmm.
It depends for me. It's like most of the RPGs I've played. I mean, like you look at my PSN, and it's like, I mean, like I've said before, my first platinum was with Tekken 6. But if it's a Final Fantasy, I'm probably going to platinum it. Probably going to get everything I can. But of course, that goes in line, kind of just prepping for the end game, basically. Because a lot of like RPGs, if you're going to face the biggest challenge in an RPG, like chances are you're going to platinum the game. So yeah, that kind of just falls in line. But as long as I'm enjoying the game, I'll try to grab trophies. I mean, I platinum Destiny because I put a lot of time into it. So it's like that, and I already had like 90% of them. I had to align 1 trophy with a run with Flawless Raider with Eli, and co-founder, and Forrest. But yeah, it's the only one I really had to chase after for Destiny, I think, specifically.
Yeah, I'm not a trophy hunter. I know some guys that are just like, oh, you haven't platinumed this? I'm like, no, I haven't. Like, have you platinumed Destiny? I'm like, obviously I platinumed Destiny. I put so much time into it. Like, I think Destiny is, does the RPG style of trophies very well. If you play, you're going to platinum. The only time that I think for Rise of Iron it made it a little bit difficult when you had to sing the Iron Song with the bells.
Ring the bells. Right?
Yeah, that was kind of like, oh, okay, you made them have to do that. That's okay.
And then half the time it doesn't even work.
Yeah, and then like, okay, I get it, but yeah, if you look, it's just
play the game, get the trophies.
I'll just if it comes up like, oh, you got a trophy, I'm like, oh shit, I got a trophy, sweet, all right, cool, moving on, let's keep playing. All right, and because we have Mercules on, this RNG recommends has a little bit of a massive breakdown into it as well. So we're going to move on to the RNG recommends section. Raven so generously sent everybody a spreadsheet with all the weapons and all the rolls because that's what he does, and we appreciate it. So we're going to start by talking about the new Monarchy, considering that's the first one on the list. Does anybody see anything here that stands out? Or would you...
I'm not too impressed with anything on there. The only weapons I really care about from New Monarchy to begin with are the Assembly 2 and the Free Will 3. And Assembly 2 does not have counterbalance or perfect balance this week, which means I'm automatically going to say, get out. I'm not going to take that. And the Free Will, high cal, it's not what I'm looking for. Not enough range perks for me. Not that gun can even compete with Islanders and Palindromes in terms of range, but you'd still like a little something besides just rangefinder. High cals on hand cans doesn't do much for me. Lightweight, no. Relentless is obviously awful. So, no, I don't see anything from New Monarchy that I'd take.
Yeah, no.
The only things I noticed that could be fun, I mean, I personally don't like the Impreacher, like the archetype that it's in. And not even because you can't even utilize it properly. Because I have a turbo controller. And I actually let loose. I actually picked one up when it was a decent roll in New Monarchy. And I legitimately used my turbo trigger to let it just fire as fast as it could. And that gun still just didn't feel good to me. So I don't recommend an Impreacher, but its perks could be fun in certain circumstances. Same thing with Bad Counsel. Like, it's not a horrible shotgun, but, somebody might be able to work it with it. Doesn't have bad perks, at least.
Yeah. I'm a big archetype person, so if I see guns that are in an archetype that I don't think are good, I don't even really care what the roll is on them, and I just discount them. Like you said, with the sidearm, you can't even fire as fast as you would want to and maintain any semblance of accuracy.
Yeah.
So, what I do when I'm looking at vendor rolls is I have like a list of guns that are good archetypes, and then I just check those, and I basically just ignore everything else. Because at this point in time, and I was talking to y'all about this earlier, I have such a huge backlog of weapons that I need to be testing or running through or just giving a shot or capturing gameplay with that, like, I don't have time to dilly-dally with any of these guns. Like, well, the archetype's bad, but it's got a god roll. It's like, get out. I don't care. I'm not using you.
Eli, I
Those
think
2 words, god roll.
I hate that term.
There's nothing there that really. I mean, at this point in the game, I have my guns, and I kind of just stick with what I have. I'm not, I'll pick up my PDX 45 when it comes around. I'll keep grinding for that, outlaw, luck in the chamber, rifled barrel, true shot, palindrome, or Ace Luna. I'll take either if you want to give them to me, Bungie. Please and thank you.
The only thing that I think would be fun is the First Citizen. Just because, I mean, extended round, extended mag, feeding frenzy, and hidden hand. I'm not saying take it into PvP. It's definitely a PvE because it's the the bullet
It's gonna be all
hose.
over the place.
Oh yeah, it's gonna be crazy. But I mean, for a fun roll, that could be fun if you have the marks to use to spend.
Yeah, if you're swimming in marks, like I said, that's like my fun gun recommend. If you're swimming in mark, like, I'll like screw around with it if for some reason I go to dismantle a weapon and all of a sudden I don't get legendary marks. Ah, crap! What can I buy?
All right, so we're gonna move on to the Dead Orbit, and this, I think Dead Orbit had the best set personally.
They got some choices.
Yeah, obviously the Extremophile 011 with high cal, perfect, and counterbalance. That's the buy of the week, I think.
Yeah, if you don't have a good 88.8 by now, there you go.
Mm-hmm.
don't think Extremophile is ranked too high on my personal list, but it's not god awful. I don't think.
No, it's pretty good. I mean, stats wise, it's one of like three, the Extremophile, the Continental, and the Vision Stone, that have basically just like above average or better stats across the board. The only places that Extremophile suffers would be the recoil direction, which Counterbalance fixes that, and then the range is not great. It's very average range. The stability is good by default. Reload speed's fast. Mag size is high. Aim assist is excellent, in the 70s actually. So it's a great gun. Like you said, I would. Perfect balance is almost a luxury since you have counterbalance and high base stability. I'd look a little bit more towards a range increasing perk, but this is, I mean, chances of that, this is pretty much as good as you're going to get with that weapon. I do like it. I think that's a good buy. Dead Orbit, like you said, makes New Monarchy look like they don't reward their the people who pledge loyalty to New Monarchy at all. You know, if you're a New Monarchy guy, you're looking at these guns like, God, this sucks. And Dead Orbit's over here like throwing marks at all the stuff that Arak Jalal's bringing. He's like Santa Claus, a weird emo Santa Claus.
Yeah. Again, Extremophile, I'll fall in line with everybody else. If you're into auto rifles, if that's your thing, I would pick it up. It looks like
that, and oh my god, is high cals on an auto rifle like one of the nastiest things to fight against. Ermagerd. I actually got into a firefight with it was either an Extremophile or Continental. But I just went to put lead on this guy, and all of a sudden, like, my aim just like took a freaking 90-degree angle up in the air, and it was like, what's happening to me right now? I need to inspect this gun. I need to inspect this guy and see what this gun has. That's high cals. Holy balls!
The assembly too last week with high cal was nasty because it's a bullet hose with high cal, so it's just flinch. That's still my. I'm playing around with that with the auto rifle bounty now. Yeah.
Oh my god,
that's super. Fun. It's super
hilarious.
Fun. Yeah.
I've actually won too many firefights that I shouldn't have. It's like people, because I mean that's the funny. If you're not prepared for high cals, they will like throw you for just the most amazing of loops, and it's amazing to see people to get into a firefight. They have first shot, but you actually still survive. It's like, sorry. What dirty?
What about
this?
this?
For some reason, I'm starting to enjoy that.
What about this Keystone?
It's a gun. I mean, it's not awful, but I mean, that archetype of scout. Personally, I don't see a lot of like variance between the highest impact scout the highest impact scouts. So I mean.
Okay. Anything else stand out for everybody?
The rocket launcher.
Yeah. Now that the Warpath has come out as like, oh, it turns out cluster bombs are actually pretty cool. Unto Dust has got him this week, and it's got Tripod and it's got Field Scout, so everyone's gonna want it. I've been on the cluster bomb train since before it was cool. I'm a cluster bomb hipster. I was talking about it 3 or 4 weeks ago in one of the Massive Breakdown podcasts, saying that once they destroyed Truth, which had been my baby, Truth had been the only exotic I had equipped in PvP as a main since I bought it and back in year 1 from Xur. I'd never taken it off. I love Truth. And they finally got me to stop playing with it by nerfing the mag size down to 1, and I hate them for that. So I was looking for another rocket launcher, and I had a Tormod's Bellows, which gives you 3, but the blast radius wasn't enough for me, and I found that I was missing people who I thought I would kill with Truth. So I wanted to go back to a high blast radius one, so I think I found like a Steel Oracle with Tripod and cluster bombs. And I was like, well, it doesn't have grenades and horseshoes, but screw it. I'll see what I can do with cluster bombs. Found out I actually really like them. I was not missing any of the kills that I thought I would. The only difference is you just have to play it a little more passive in PvP. And then it just so happened that like 2 or 3 weeks after that, they started talking about how the rocket launcher can do more damage to Axis and things like that, which whether it can or not is up for debate and depends on the skill of your fire team. But yeah, if you missed out on that last week, Unto Dust, here it is.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, right now, like I've been on a huge kick, at least with this new perk layout. Like Field Scout and Tripod is just amazing because I got a Warpath, or no, was it Steel Oracle? I had something to drop. but it was either Warpath or a Steel Oracle or something. But it had Field Scout, it had Tripod, and it had tracking. And like I said, it's no proc stat, but it's like I started using it. It's like this thing curves ridiculously. I mean, it's no truth, but I like it.
You put tracking on any rocket launcher, and I can't use it anymore.
Mm-hmm.
I think Worlds to Come has. I mean, I'm not a huge fusion rifle guy, but I think those are.
Yeah, they're fine perks.
Desirable fusion rifle perks, I'll say.
Yeah.
Like I've said before, or before the show, if you don't have your amazing Matador or whatnot, and you're still shotgunning, it's like this is pretty much the most range Last Ditch is ever going to get is with this setup. I mean, it can't, if I recall properly, it cannot roll with reinforced or rifled. So hand-loaded, hammer forged, and final round, it's probably going to be the best perk lineup for Last Ditch. Personally, I wouldn't suggest it over Matador, but
Teach their own. Yeah, the Worlds to Come has pretty desirable perks, I think. Extended battery, perfect balance, or knee pads. And then Eye of the Storm. Eye of the Storm is meh to me.
And Bitter Edge isn't horrible. It's a Waylorn's archetype. I really don't know how it compares, because it's not really an archetype I've looked into. But it's got Snapshot. Clown Cartridge is always fun. And Firefly, because why not reward headshots with a nice pretty explosion?
Mm-hmm. So this is something I've talked about on the Massive Breakdown podcast kind of a lot. It's a method of improving in PvP, and what it is you pick a primary and a secondary that both have Firefly. So a sniper that has Firefly, and what I like is either a hand cannon or a scout rifle that has Firefly and triple tap. And what I go through, and I will play in PvP just with those weapons, even if they're not the weapons that I want to be using, my main weapons, and I will try to get triple tap and Firefly to activate on every primary kill, and I will try to get Firefly to activate on every special kill. And I did that a lot in year 2, and it completely trained me to start going for the head. Like, my accuracy percentages, my precision kill percentages went up multiple points doing that. Just because it's such a good, it's like positive reinforcement when you hear the chime from triple tap activating and you see the explosion from Firefly. That you start, it's like a grunt birthday party in Halo, where you used to pop the grunt and they would explode and confetti would come out. It's kind of similar to that. Yeah, exactly. And I love that. And I preach that to everyone, even if it's not the guns you want to use. You will start hitting headshots so much more often if you have Firefly and triple tap on your weapons. So I highly recommend anyone try that out. And like you said, Bitter Edge isn't a great sniper, but it could be worse, I suppose.
Yeah.
It could be the 2020 AMR.
Yeah, I was about to say, it could be the 2020.
I like that, though. You go for the Pavlovian response of, bang, bang, bang. Oh, triple tap. Now I got another one. Or bang. It's like, oh, Firefly. Good. I like hitting headshots. It's good stuff.
I had a Cocytus or Cocytus, or however it's pronounced, the Omelon scout rifle from the gunsmith. I had one of those with triple tap and Firefly that I used, and I was like, and then it helped that I actually mained a Cocytus as well, not with that exact role, but I think I had something ridiculous on it, like Icarus or something like that. But I used that a lot, and it was just like my precision kills went from sitting around 50 to up into the 60th percentile. 3 out of every 5 of my kills are precision kills now, when before it was 2 out of 5, which doesn't sound like a huge difference, but my kill to death also went from around a 1.7 to a 1.9, because you're killing people in optimal times more often than not, whereas before I wasn't.
I like that.
And also just for the opposite end of that spectrum, you don't want a mulligan weapon, because that reminds me that every time you hear that chime proc, it reminds you how awful your aim is.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Oh, you missed again. Here, we'll help you out a little bit.
Yeah, right. Especially now that mulligan is actually procs super often now. I think I had it on a palindrome, and I was just having a bad day, and I was just like, blam, blam, ting, blam, blam, ting. It's like, Jesus Christ.
Rounds from heaven. That's what they're called. So, the future work halt. I had a question. I'm gonna just bring it up now. The Wounded.
Mm-hmm.
Any good? Because as you all know, I am an auto rifle user. So the questions are legitly, I don't know. You know, I'm looking at the perks. And they look pretty good, but
the only
thing, the perks are not. Outlaw and crowd control are really going to serve well. I'm just, personally opposed to that archetype of scout rifle having full auto, but
it's a waste.
Yeah.
I don't see its purpose, especially if it's going to be on an auto, like what was it called, the Year 2 Trial Scout, Inward Lamp. That I can see having full auto, but anything higher than that's like, I'm just. I mean, I died a little inside when they said the Doom of Chelch. When I read the Doom of Chelch's Adept had full auto, and it's just like, ugh.
Yeah, that rate of fire isn't fast enough that you really need full auto at all. You are completely capable of hitting the trigger that fast and maximizing your rate of fire without needing a perk to do it for you. It's just lazy. Mm-hmm. It's the same thing like full auto on the Bad Juju. Like, I don't need full auto on the Bad Juju. I can fire it on my own at exactly the highest rate of fire. Like you said, the DIS 47, it's nice to have full auto. It's not necessary. You can fire it, but I found when I was doing my testing that it was hard for me to consistently get max rate of fire, especially in a gun battle. So full auto helps on that. But the Wounded is basically, if you like Burning Eye, the Trials of Osiris Scout, it's like a poor man's version of that, basically. It's got a little bit smaller magazine, a little bit less aim assist. But very similar stability, very similar range, very similar reload speed. And I love the aesthetic of it. I think it's a great looking scout rifle. It's just mid impacts are only good in PvP if you're not very good and your competition is not very good, because you don't need a lot of headshots. It's 2 crits, 2 bodies, kills most enemies. That's easy to do. Super easy, right? Really forgiving. One of the most forgiving guns in the game. But 4 shots from a Mida is going to be faster. Mm-hmm. 3 shots from a Cocytus or a Hand of Judgment or a Chaos Dogma is going to be faster. 3 shots from a hand cannon is going to be faster. There's like no weapon in the game that's slower than this except for the mid-impact pulse rifles, which are probably the worst PvP weapons in the game. So, if you're learning scout rifles, go ahead and take it out for a spin. If you actually want to be competitive in PvP, don't bother bringing one of these in there. They're PvE focused 100%.
Oh, yeah. Also, and to help, it's probably not going to help some, but it is, in fact, there are 2 ways to pronounce it, but it is either Cocytus or Cocytus. It is actually one of the rivers of Hades with the river Styx.
Oh, okay.
So I actually had to look that up. Totally wrong.
I actually had to look that up, and then I had to decipher the pronunciation guide because I haven't done that in years. So it might still be wrong, but
it started as the Cocytus. It's going to end as the Cocytus for me. So
again, the only thing Future World has to see, like I said, the weighting doesn't have bad perks. Like, I know people that do enjoy knee pads on fusions. And I just don't. I just don't know. I don't really like Eye of the Storm personally.
It's the same as the Dead Orbit, correct? It's the same rules as the Worlds to Come.
Could be.
It is.
Yeah, actually, it is. Yeah, look at there.
But
see, I knew I rated those 2 the same thing for a reason.
Yeah.
Are they the same archetype though?
Actually, well, I think they're both 5 bolts. But fusion archetypes and fusion rifles, those words don't. It's like archetypes and fusion rifles and rocket launchers don't quite want to mix well, because Bungie kind of had a field day with those 2. It's like all their other guns are very structured and very in line, this fire rate, this impact. Fusion rifles and rockets are kind of all over the place.
Yep. And they're close to each other. One of them's a 90. Well, they're not really that close to each other. One of them, the weighting is a 94 impact, and Worlds to Come is an 87 impact. So, like you said, they're both 5 bullets to kill. The weighting is really similar to the Thiessen, or what's the other one called? The Vacancy, if you remember those from Taken King. And Worlds to Come is more close to like the Pantaria. So.
Oh, and one thing, like Buster said, I do have the Bird Rock, which is my own little thing, but I really have to give a shout out to you for actually freaking figuring out the real world like charge time.
Yeah.
For like these fusion rifles, it's like I saw you did that, and it's just like, oh my god, like the amount of work.
Those are approximate because it's really, really hard to get exact charge times on a fusion rifle. The way they display when they're charging is RNG, like aesthetically. Yeah. So sometimes it doesn't show the like charging animation until 3 or 4 frames after it's already started. So I kind of had to like guess and put some in there, but I think it's a general tape. I think in general it's around the time it's going to take, give or take a frame. So I think it's pretty damn close. But yeah, that was something I'd been meaning to do for a long time. My vault was just filling up with fusion rifles because I had one of every single charge rate that I could find, and then just went through, recorded them all, fired each one like 5 times, and then just tried to find the average of it.
I definitely felt the sympathy pain of that testing because
some testing is more fun than others. The testing I'm doing right now on armor values is not fun. It's like an hour and a half per character per weapon archetype. It's brutal. I just did it with auto rifles and a Titan, and I'm not looking forward to doing it with any of the other ones. Pulse rifles is going to be abysmal. Like hand cannons and scout rifles, it'll be pretty easy because they only take a couple of shots. But pulse rifles is going to be real hard because you got to like mix in. You got to mix in body shots and headshots, mid pulse and stuff like that. It's gonna suck. So.
All right. So, no big standouts in this category, right?
No.
All right.
Nah.
Now the Crucible vendor. Obviously, everyone's gonna say the palindrome. I'm.
It's not bad. Again, mulligan. If you really want, especially if you really want to know how bad of a shot you are.
Yeah, I'm not a huge fan of reinforced on hand cannons. I think stability matters more than people give it credit for. And luck in the chamber, not that this matters to the majority of people either, but luck in the chamber is banned in competitive like matches. Oh, yeah. So the RNG for it is not taken highly. But luck in the chamber is really, really good in PvP. It procs a lot more often than you think it would. Especially if you do that thing where you spawn and you fire off 2 bullets right away, which I've seen a lot of people actually do just to get their mag size down. You know, if you're not near anyone, you can reload and it's not a problem if it does proc. And you just fire off a couple bullets, and then chances are you're going to hit that lucky bullet in the next engagement. So it's okay. I probably wouldn't pick this one up. The roll that was sold originally is so good compared to this one that probably everyone's got a better version. I'm actually kind of a fan of the B29 Party Favor. Yeah. It's like a poor man's hawk saw. It's got reflex, which is my favorite of this group of sights. It adds aim assist. It's got a nice open sight picture. And then it's got perfect balance, rangefinder, and outlaw, all of which are perks that I would consider tier 1 on this archetype. So if you don't have a good hawk saw, maybe you haven't gotten a good PDX 45 and you just want something in that archetype, the B29 Party Favor. I would take that one.
At least the Party Favor also has the aim assist of the 45, so it does have that going for it. But take a knee though.
Yeah, I was going to say take a knee with Outlaw.
Take a knee though, man.
Ooh, yeah. Maybe if you got a machine gun in PvE, that's about the only time I think take a knee is ever actually a useful perk. It used to be nice.
Speaking of a machine gun that has take a knee, chaotic neutral.
Yeah, would take a knee perfect in rangefinder. I mean,
what was it?
I wanted so badly to like the 0-day dilemma. It's just
it could probably work out pretty well.
It's a bad weapon. I tried playing with it. I was like, oh, this gun looks fun. It looks kind of cool. It's terrible. It's just so awful.
I mean, I like Shadow Price, and I just can't. It's.
I don't know. I haven't played with this one personally, so
It's the middle tier is what gets me. Third Eye, whatever. If you it's.
I don't know. I personally also don't like a brace frame.
Yeah,
No,
that's what I'm saying.
Not on high impact autos. It drops that mag. They already have really low mag sizes.
Yeah.
And it just drops it even farther. No, I wouldn't touch it. I had what I thought was a God rolled 0-day dilemma, and it still just wasn't great. It's I counted among the worst of the high impact auto rifles, right up there with, if anyone has Questing Beast back from TPK, I think that's legitimately like the worst high impact auto they've ever put in the game.
The
Really?
deal breaker though.
Yeah.
That sucks because I'm sitting on a Questing Beast with counterbalance, perfect balance, and crowd control, and I was like, this
It
might be
has
some time.
one good thing. So let me break this down for you. Questing Beast, out of 6 possible stats that I track: range, stability, reload speed, mag size, aim assist, recoil direction. It has among the lowest range of all auto rifles somehow. It has below average stability, among the lowest reload speed, among the lowest mag size, among the lowest aim assist. The only positive it has is the recoil direction is pretty high. So that's the only good thing it has. It is one of the hands down worst weapons that they've ever put into this game. I'm just letting you know. So God roll or not, yeah, you're going to be handicapping yourself if you take that into the Crucible.
It's funny.
I mean, for comparison, the Aethion's Epilogue has one more base range than Questing Beast does.
Ooh, it's a bullet hose.
Yeah.
What was it? I personally have a vendetta against Deal Breaker.
Yeah.
Oh, the
I
deal,
don't.
the deal breaker.
It is literally a deal breaker. It's like, no. I've actually put time invested into a deal breaker with a good roll, and it's just like, no. No.
There's only 1 or 2 of those weapons that I would consider good. Shadow Price, Her Memory, I think are good. And then Genesis Chain. But Genesis Chain is good for a different reason. It's good because it has a different version of Firefly from all other high-impact autos. I don't know why. I was testing this the other day, but it doesn't add 2 frames to the delay in between shots like it does for Suros and other high impacts, where it decreases the time to kill. It actually speeds up the time to kill, puts it at 0.83. So the Genesis Chain is actually the fastest killing of all auto rifles, including the bullet hoses.
And actually doing some, because with this information, because, shocker for those listening, but I follow, like, I have the breakdown spreadsheet bookmarked, like, from a friggin' year ago or whatever. But it's like, after finding that out, because I read this I saw that, and it's like, Genesis Chain has a 0.8. Wait, what? Why? So I did the comparison myself, because I don't know why, but I just went through, checked out the frames, and it's like, wow, it's faster. And sure enough, what was it? Me, Sniper Wolf, and Converse were heading in one of our random, like, hopping into a party. Like, hey, I want to do trials. It's like, why not? We can go for a weapon. But so Sniper's like, well, I can always try this Genesis Chain. I'm like, do it. Aim for the head. Hit the head. You'll be gold. And sure enough, he was like freaking wrecking people with Genesis Chain. I think it was Dungeons. Yeah, when the map was Dungeons. Yeah. And oh my god, he was going on like, I think he actually went on like a 10 spree at one point in time. I'm one to say. I could be wrong. But oh my god, yeah. He was doing amazing with it.
Yeah, it's better than people think it is. People have just discounted high impact ARs for so long, and maybe Bungie secretly changed the focus fire on this one because of that reason. But it's actually really good. It's one of my favorite weapons to use in PvP right now. I use Chaos Dogma as my main because, good lord, I love that gun. And then Genesis Chain is probably second most used. I mean, I've got like a quiver that I take out. I've got my primary slots full. So I change things up as often as I can. Parthian shots up there, Lune Mila, the Zaranea, like I mentioned before. And then I've got Soul Stealer's Claw, which is the other auto rifle. I really like the House of Judgment one. But I mostly run that because it matches the chroma on one of the loadouts I use, like an all green loadout. And I got the green chroma, so that's what I used that one for. But yeah, I like Genesis Chain a lot right now. I got a fantastic gameplay the other day for Destiny Tracker when they were doing a weapon review of the Wrath of the Machine weapons. Just excellent gameplay with Genesis Chain. So I really recommend people try it out if they haven't yet.
And
again, another one of those weapons with positive reinforcement thanks to the Focus Firefly.
yeah,
Mm-hmm. It's the only auto rifle in the game with Firefly. So,
but yeah, I'll definitely back that recommendation up because it's also one of those guns, like, because of the way it fires, it's like when you're hitting the headshots, I mean, that's when you see the health just melt off and you're just coming out positive in engagements. But if your aim isn't there, yeah, it's not. I personally consider it like a moderate skill gun because of that. Because it does have a great time to kill, but you have to hit the head.
yeah, it's not very forgiving of missed shots.
all right. So for the Vanguard, do we see anything?
Oh wow.
Are you guys clicking around on this? Sorry, this is totally sidebar. Are you clicking around on this spreadsheet?
Yeah, I am.
Yes.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's the color.
Yes.
Yeah, everybody has a different color.
Sorry. I keep looking at my phone like, is my screen dirty? Like, why is all this stuff getting highlighted?
Yeah, my bad.
People do stuff like this, and it's like, what the crap? Yeah, seeing that in real time is like really confusing the first time. The only thing I saw here was Bone Crusher, with rifled encounter. I mean, the fact that rifle does take its reload down way low, but I mean, it comes with 2 different reload perks, so it's like, why not? IMO.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it doesn't have aggressive, but then again, I'm just like an aggressive ballistics whore when it comes to MGs because I want all the impact I can get. But other than that, I mean, I kind of like Bone Crusher.
I'm actually picking up that weapon as soon as we're on here, and the reason why, you use it like a scout rifle. Don't even bother with the full auto. Take rifled and feeding frenzy and basically just feather the trigger like you're using Cocytus or Cocytus or whatever it is, and use it like a scout rifle. You'll get all the effects of the aim assist. The aim assist will never degrade like it does with most machine guns. And you'll be able to snipe people from so far away, kill them with, I think, 1 headshot and 2 body shots or something like that. It does some crazy amount of damage. It might not. It might be 2 headshots and a body shot. Actually, I have it on the spreadsheet. I don't know why I'm not just looking at my own numbers.
I was about to
It
say,
is, yeah, it's 2 crits and a body is what it'll kill in. So just use it like a scout rifle, honestly. And it's amazing. And then if you panic and someone gets up close to you, you can take them down with the full auto. But I love Bone Crusher a lot.
Interesting.
I mean, those who remember Gear 1 banner, Yolder's Hammer, this is basically the same archetype, and yeah, that's where I learned just the joys of this archetype. Is, like I say, you don't even have to use the full auto, just tap, tap, tap. Oh, there's down, tap, tap, tap. Oh,
Yep.
he's down. Oh, Machine Lord. Oh.
I might have to buy it. I don't think I've ever used a Bone Crusher. I remember, obviously, I've used Yolder's Hammer, but I've never used.
And when I pull it out, I get to use the Macho Man Randy Savage voice.
Because yeah, sure. And I mean,
Personal good times for me.
there's one week I just wish that the Continental has an amazing rule. There's going to be one week that it happens, and I'm just going to be fucking shits and giggles about it. But not this week.
Wasn't last week perfect counter and spray and play?
I
think it was perfect count or something.
It was perfect counter something. I think I might have had that.
Fire maybe.
Yeah, no.
No, it wasn't Focus Fire.
Hit
I
fire.
can't remember.
It might have been. Anyway. I mean, Battle
It's
Runner.
definitely had a good role, like, since they've rotated the perks. It's just not this one.
No, not at all.
I mean, that Angel's Advocate does have Hidden Hand, but other than that, that's like the only maybe. I mean, I know people that do like go by Icarus for scout rifles, but you know, that's just not me. But yeah, I mean, again, it has braced, which the bonus to stability would be nice, but I mean, that's one thing I've always found that Angels kind of has weak is just it doesn't have like a great magazine size as is, so you really don't want to crush that at all.
Yeah, I think Brace takes you down to 11 which is like, really, really bad for a Mida archetype scout rifle. So it sucks. The Angel's Advocate would be a good gun if it weren't for that, or that would be a good roll if it weren't for that. If I had like perfect balance, but yeah, that pretty much kills it for me because AP is a totally useless perk. Armor piercing rounds is totally useless. I don't know if you guys remember back in year one when you used to be able to wall bang with armor piercing rounds, and that was my bread and butter. I would only use sniper rifles if they had armor piercing rounds, and it was my favorite thing on earth to use. But
wall bang, rock bang, you could pretty much put a bullet through anything.
Didn't really matter.
Yeah,
it was awesome.
True. I gotta say this week is pretty underwhelming.
Yeah, I would agree. Except for the Bone Crusher, there's probably nothing I'm going to be picking up.
Primary engrams from the Cryptarch.
Same.
I keep preaching them.
Yep.
Because I have a similar palindrome that I actually had drop. I actually had surprise like an outlaw rifle and luck palindrome actually drop, and it's just like, oh hey, there you are after like a year.
I had a really good palindrome drop, and I mean. Yeah, I just don't see it. I would pick up Extremophile, but I like the Vision Stone. That's my go-to 88.8 right now.
That's a good choice. It's a good weapon. A real good weapon.
Oh, I love that. I can't remember. I think I put Smart Drift on it, and I compared it to my last favorite because I'm the guy that tends to stick. Like I find like a favorite weapon in an archetype. And I'll stick with it. And my last favorite, which is the Righteous 7, when I think it had counter.
Mm-hmm.
And I put Smart Drift on the Vision Stone. It's like, this has the same recoil pattern as the Righteous 7, just an inverted direction. So it's like, yes, I will use this gun, and I will use it happily.
Okay. That was that. And Merc, you said earlier that you didn't get a chance to look at any of those weapons this week, so that was all just
off the cuff.
Off the cuff.
I don't, like I said, I haven't been paying much attention to the vendor rolls, so I just looked over the list that you guys so kindly provided, and was just thinking about them while we were talking. So, I mean, it's pretty easy. When I've done breakdowns for so long at this point in time, I just kind of like know what to look for, what not to look for. Mm-hmm. Thank God, it's just like automatic. So I don't have to put too much thought into it.
All right, guys. The question that we ask not every episode. We haven't really asked every episode, but in the recent episodes, how was your week in Destiny?
It was good. It was laid back. Did some nightfalls, did some strikes, played some PvP. It's been chill, honestly. It's been chill. I haven't been stressing about anything, so it's been fun.
Wrath of the Machine is the weekly featured. Can't stand it. As soon as I load into that raid, I'm just like, get me out of here. I don't want to do this. Oh my God, let's just go. I did it twice. It went well. I just don't like the raid personally. Did my Nightfalls on Tuesday. I haven't been in Crucible yet. I just don't have a ton of desire to step in there just yet. Ran Vogue and Crota again for the Titan armor pieces, and again, I'm just not getting armor drops, but it is what it is. I think I'm going to start a second Titan just to be a gear donkey, just so I can have something else to run through every week. But it's been a good week. Lots of raiding. I think I go through all the raids at least once a week now, just for gear, and gonna go pick up that Bone Crusher and maybe play some Crucible this weekend.
Question: since you run the raids, that's not the feature. When you get does the armor drop with the node for the ornaments?
Yeah.
Regardless.
So after it's been a featured raid, now that everything's been featured, everything will drop.
Okay.
The armor pieces with the new ornament nodes. To note on that, Bungie released it in their notes with this patch. Wrath of the Machine will not be brought back up to its featured raid level when it's not the featured raid. I guess people are having problems. Your Rise of Iron Moments of Triumph won't proc running it as the featured raid, and some people are having problems getting their OP quest done with it being the featured raid. So word of warning to anybody who hasn't seen that or heard that, wait till it's an off week to run that for that. But yeah, since everything's been featured already, you rerun, you get all the new 400 weapons, all the new armor with the new ornament nodes. The only thing you can't get, obviously, are adept weapons because you can't do any challenge modes.
Okay. I was just asking because I didn't know, for my own edification. I wanted to ask because I don't really rate that much. I mean, I would love to do Crota just so I could get the gear, but it seems like how you said gear is pretty stingy. So, all right. Des, what you got, buddy? What you been up to?
I don't know. I ran a couple wraths. Finished one of them with Prolija, which, yes, we pretty much did drag him through kicking and screaming, through about 80% of that. What? I made it almost through another one. So all I'm missing out of the challenges is an Adept Chaos Dogma, which makes me cry because I want that Adept gun. But luckily I do have Fever and Remedy and Steel Medulla, which were the other two I'm really hoping for Adept-wise, and played some PvP, shot some people in the face, had some good times.
I also want to add that with Specialist and Airborne on for strikes, I have Telesto on, and I'm running around like a goddamn fool, creating like 400 orbs every strike. That's a lot of fun.
For the strike, I do, if I don't run Telesto, I run the Fourth Horseman, drop Weapons of Light, jump in the air, and just spray a boss, and it just melts them. It
seems to be the new thing to do.
It just melts. It's so much fun. But yeah, the Telesto jump is always fun with Airborne. I got on this morning after my workout, ran the Nightfall with Scully and my buddy Solo. That's a fun Nightfall. The Nightfall's always, the Shield Brothers are always a good time. You can,
liar.
Yeah, but say you can really sense my my enthusiasm in that one.
I've protested that. I'm actually boycotting this Nightfall.
If it was Solar Burn, it was Void Shield Brothers.
Void Shield Brothers.
Yeah, Void Shield Brothers.
Grounded.
Wasn't too
Grounded.
Thank God it's not Solar, because I would not have stepped into that Nightfall.
I quit out of Solar Burn Shield Brothers when it's a normal heroic strike. Like a normal heroic strike, not even Nightfall. I'm like, no, not doing this. Too difficult.
I mean, because I tried to run it once, and it's like we ran our heads against the wall, and it's just like, you know what? Screw it. I'm done. I'm not doing it this week. Screw it. I'll live without 1 week of flames. I'll live.
I got my Titan page done in the book, so now I gotta go onto my Warlock or my Hunter, or I don't. You can't make me.
Oh yeah, I got my Hunter page done.
So I'm probably gonna go Warlock. Warlock's like my secondary character, and I helped Scully get her PvP section of the OP quest done.
Nice.
So, overall a very effective hour and 20 minutes of gameplay thus far, and I will be playing later on tonight. PvP is fun. I play with my Hunter, so I was super laid back, and I realized that my Hunter is nothing, I'm sorry Raven, but my mobile vault, and I had a shitty Continental roll in the Zen Meteor, and I'm like, well, it looks like I'm running with the Zen Meteor. Let's see what happens. End up with a 3.0 KD, and I'm like, maybe I should just play like this from now on. Okay, cool. But I pulled the Raven. I put on the Shinobu, and just threw those skip grenades all day.
Oh, that's not the Raven anymore.
Oh,
I've evolved. I've evolved into something much more douchey.
We have a
Tarantella, Memory of Fellwinter.
Oh my god.
Stick nades. I'm that guy in PvP right now, and I'm having so much fun. Oh.
Well, it was funny because that match started and we were on Widow's Court. Is that the one with the A and C or no? A and C or the tunnel? What is that?
Yeah.
In the dead zone.
Oh,
Memento.
Memento.
Yeah. We started and I ran. And I just kind of threw my skip grenade and I got markers. I'm like, okay, cool. They're running down the middle. I just pull out Zen Meteor and come over that hill, and I see another red glint. I'm like, oh shit! And I just pull the trigger out of instinct, and I get the headshot. And I'm like, I got first blood with a headshot. I'm out. Whatever. For the rest of the game, I don't give a shit. But it was I mean, PvP now is fun again, which is good. But I guess I have to tickle finger motherfuckers. So that's
fingers. You're a Stormcaller, Emperor Palpatine.
Yeah.
I love calling them tickle fingers. I was what were the names? People were asking for names of stuff in Destiny that you call it that's like outside of its normal thing, and tickle fingers is what I said for Stormcaller. And back at the time when Shinobi's Vows were really, really powerful, I called those bitch mittens.
Bitch mittens, thank you.
Yeah.
Love it.
You're not wrong.
They've been nerfed a little bit, but some people still run them.
The suppress and spray. Somebody said
rapid realization of like 17-second nades.
Yeah.
Double skip nades. It's just like, or double sticky nades. It's just like.
Oh, that's every nade the Tarantella works on?
17 seconds. Yeah, every nade.
Fuck me. Oh.
Like 17 seconds. I mean, there's rarely an engagement. I can't. Well, 9 times out of 10, I'm actually like utterly missing a flux nade, but
hey, Bill.
That's because I don't have practice with them. But by God, like I said, it's just fun. Coming across a dude who's like low health. I see a dude. He's coming at me. He's like, there was one guy, legitimately, I was full health. Dude was spraying me down with an auto rifle. I stuck him and just dropped my controller. I let him kill me.
Because you knew you were going to get a kill back.
Exactly. I mean,
those trade nades.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they're wonderful things.
Because he had first hit, it's like, quick.
I think somebody said that the Palpatine or Tickle Fingers, somebody called them Jazz Hands.
Jazz Hands, yeah.
And I was
fingers.
Yeah, I was like, Jazz Hands. That's great because you're just.
That is also legitimately the emote that I run on my Warlock.
Yeah,
Jazz Hands.
Jazz Hands. Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I run no. It's always no. I use it so often. Someone does something embarrassing and dies, walk right up to their ghost. No.
I got a little angry about it, but I got the yawn emote for doing my Nightfall, and I was just like, this is literally the most boring emote in the entire world.
Yeah.
But I also really like it because it's like something happens and you get out of it. You just kind of stop what you're doing and yawn, and your character's just like yawning and like stretching out. It's just like, you know what? I bet you that could really get under some people's skin.
Seriously, man. Nobody thinks about how much you tilt opponents when you're emoting at them. It's such an easy way to bait someone into coming back to try to kill you again and again and again. Is every time you kill them, do a little emote.
Yeah.
Maybe, some people don't like the bag, but a bag here and there. Just one tap and run away.
I'm guilty for if I have somebody like no me, I'm like, okay. All right, here we go. Open up my menu, switching things around. I'm like, come on.
Putting on those try-hard panties now.
Yeah, that's what happens. The emotes. I understand. I'm like, that's cool. Whatever, it's fine. I'm gonna get you back, and then I'm gonna emote back, and we're gonna have a little trade-off. But when you bag me, I'm just like, okay, I'm gonna make you my bitch this entire game. But for my defender, I have the sumo emote or the just do it. That don't let your dreams be your dreams type thing, because the Shia LaBeouf, yeah, it just that one seems to get more people than the battle, than the sumo. When you pop your bubble and you're sumo and no one comes in, but when you're like, just do it, they're like, oh, I'm gonna do it, and then I'm just gonna get you. So I'm gonna suppress both of us and then punch you a couple times, and then we're both, you're dead, or we're both dead. Doesn't matter.
Did you see the video of the guy the other day who was doing the sumo emote in his bubble, and the bubble disappeared right when he did the sumo emote? And he just gets obliterated.
How do you
He starts the step, and the bubble just goes away. And he panics and tries to run, and is just dead immediately.
Backfire.
Love it.
When reality's like, no.
Yeah, don't do that.
I'm just waiting, patiently to see what Destiny 2 brings. But they're going to bring emotes, they're going to bring shaders forward. There's probably going to be boxes.
Ooh.
Oh, there's definitely going to be boxes. I mean, they're successful.
I do want to go back to my week in Destiny real quick.
Go ahead.
Last week, I got the King's Fall shader, Malevolence. Best shader in the game. Love it. Looks so good. I have it on my Titan with the New Monarchy Year 2 Spectre gear with magenta chroma and my Saint 14 helm on, and oof. Ooh. And then I also got the Vault of Glass shader to drop this week. So that's 2 out of 4.
Nice.
What's the Vault of Glass shader this time around?
Timepiece. It's like a blue. If you put on the new Vault of Glass gear with the new ornament on, and you go no shader, it's that. It's like a really cool. It looks good on the Titan. It's a patterned like blue and light blue.
Okay.
Looks nice. I like shaders. I play dress up at the kiosk before I go do anything, really.
Yeah, people don't understand. I have to match my guns to my shaders too. Like, I can't have a gun that stands out badly for my character. I'll be like, like Hawksaw. I wouldn't run Hawksaw. I was like, what the fuck am I supposed to match this to? Seriously, this blue and green? I was like, no, I don't run blue and green. I run black, gray, something like that. Like those dark colors. That's what I run. See, I'm not using Hawksaw.
I have
ever since the
I have Chroma 2. It matches my guns.
Yeah. Ever since the first round of Sparrow Racing, I've aggravated people by using the Lumos shader.
Oh, yeah.
And from the moment they have added chroma, it's like, magenta? I had a Soul Stealer's Claw? Mm-hmm. Yes.
Perfect.
Yep.
So I have a bright pink gun to go with my bright pink shader. Yes! And I can really get under people's nerves.
Yeah.
I throw orange on the Queen's weapons because it just looks, the purple with the orange and the orange accents. I'm super. I find that a lot of people who main Titan are like that. That we're all like, what's a shader? We gotta put a shader that matches a chroma. And I have a PvP shader because I don't think, I'll put on I have a specific set of specific set of gear and a specific set of shader that I wear out in the wild. I'll put on like a purple one out in the wild and not care, but I don't know why in PvP I think I have to.
Oh, always.
Yeah, camouflage. Some people are like Raven, who puts on the Lumos, and he's like, "I'm bright pink. You still can't kill me, motherfuckers."
Yeah, but like I've got bronze tier side loader, like grenade energy arms, which are like the last thing I would ever put on for anything. I wear them because they are they're the furry shoulder arms with the right chroma, and I'm just like, whatever, I don't care.
Yeah, screw all those stats. I look good. That's what matters.
Yeah.
Fashionable functionality.
Yeah. Anybody who plays with me, I've mained, like, as soon as I've been able to get my hands on it for my hunter, Days of Iron ornamented set, full out with Nineveh from Future War Cult.
I think you were one of the first
amazing.
people. I think you were one of the first people I've seen that had a full ornamented set with the rolls that they wanted.
Oh, dude, I spent like 250 legendary marks to get no, actually, I think they all are all tier 12. But yeah, I did that, and yeah. But like I said, I can get. Oh, but my jam right now is definitely Sea of Tears. That's like the sexiest blue in the entire game.
I rocked that on my hunter for a while. I'm doing super black right now on my hunter, and I'm doing Thunder Devil on on my Titan, going old school, all gray. I still haven't found better than that.
Thunder Devil. And
my Warlock, we don't talk about my Warlock. He just exists, but my hunter and my Titan are good to go right now.
I typically run the Valis Grade, Valis Guard, the
Valis Guard,
Valis Guard, and the there's one that's black and like a bluish, like a tempered blue from Varix. It's one of the fallen shaders that I like having. I like putting on my Titan because it looks good with the gear.
I think I run primarily, for some reason, I run Valentine from Crimson Days on my Warlock.
It looks good on Warlocks.
It does. Like, I like that pattern that it has with it. But as far as I don't think my Titan actually has a set shader, sadly.
All right. So, before we close out, because it's getting close to the time that everyone turns into a pumpkin, does anybody have a final topic? Anything in the world?
I'm about to shit myself. Honestly, I've got those beer shits coming out. So I've been clenching my butt cheeks for like the last half hour trying to wait.
Okay. On that note, that brings the 49th episode of the RngCast to a close. Merc, thank you for coming. Why don't you tell everybody where they can find you other than the bathroom?
Right. Thank you guys for having me. You can find us on the Massive Breakdown podcast. Me, Kit Kutcha. We normally have a special guest. Cougar's backed out for a little bit because he's got real life getting in the way, but he's going to be back in the upcoming weeks. We're on SoundCloud. You can find me on Twitter, Mercules904. You can find me on Reddit, Mercules904. You can find me on Xbox, Mercules904. You can find me on Twitch, Mercules904. So I also got a Destiny Massive Breakdowns YouTube channel, but it's pretty dead right now. Just got a new job. Haven't really had much time to make videos. Hope to get back to it sometime this summer. But that's where I am. I'm all over the place.
All right, go ahead, Eli.
You guys can find me on Twitter at BroJortHosen. It's exactly how it sounds. It's weird, but it's a thing. You find me on the PlayStation Network, brother_Elijah. That's about it. Yeah.
Jeff?
And this is your boy Raven. You can find me on Twitter at DES_Raven. You can find me on Twitch at twitch.tv/thecorvusnest. And you can search me on YouTube at DeathSwitchRaven.
And I'm Buster Knuckle. You can find me on Twitter at BusterKnuckle13. That's BusterKnuckle13. On PSN, BlisterLister113. The worst screen name in the history of mankind. You can find the RngCast on Instagram and Twitter at the RngCast. You can send us an email, therngcast@gmail.com. You can also, if you choose to support us, go to patreon.com/therngcast. Any support is appreciated, not necessary. We don't require it. But you get some pretty cool stuff like early access to the podcast. So if you feel like helping, please help out. If not, we're still here for you. And this is the 49th episode of the RngCast. We're out.
Later, man.
Bye.
See you all next week. That's the best biz I can do. I'm sorry, guys. I just thought I miss him. I'm sorry. He'll be back next week. It's terrible. I'm sorry. The RngCast is a member of the Destiny Tracker Podcast Network. If you like us, you should check out the other podcasts in the network. If you like lore, the Destiny Lorecast and Rabbit Hole Radio is for you. If you're like Raven and weapon stats are your thing, check out Destiny Massive Breakdowns and the Destiny Track Podcast. If accents get your fire going, check out the Destiny Down Under podcast, and that sure will scratch that itch. But always remember, we here at the RngCast love you all. Thanks for listening.